shirtless, sitting on the back of the truck, just took a picture of me eating that sub, and I was like, I'm living my dream life. And
mind you, it's a massive tuna sub.
do you remember the first post?
I zoomed in on the one
sit?
you just posted.
Oh no, I did that comically large on
That
purpose.
thing is huge. I was like,
I made that one at home
okay.
purposely because it was the first one of the season.
I was like, that's
You're jumping ahead in the story, Kyle.
Unorthodox podcast, bitch.
All right. Welcome to the Unordinary and Unorthodox podcast. I'm your host, Austin SOULSEEKS, with Kyle is Haunted.
Yeah.
And welcome to episode 1, version 2. To you, this is episode 2, but to us, this is episode 1. The real episode 1. For that reason, you heard our new intro. And I have some notes and a podcast structure. Along with that, we are with Matt Warner once again.
Can't get enough of me.
And we also have Alan Guin, as other heard on Travel Channel, Alan Guin.
I heard that.
Even my own family was like, "What up, Alan Guin?"
I was like, have I been saying it wrong?
I thought the same thing.
No, they
It's a good thing I've
gaslight
only
you.
called him Alan.
So basically, we have Matt on again because I feel like,
Didn't even introduce me.
what do you mean?
Oh, did you?
He
No,
said,
I said-
he said Kyle,
Okay.
Kyle
My
is
host.
haunted. He even plugged your.
Sorry.
Sorry, I
I'm
got
also
his
with-
name wrong last time.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway.
All right.
Sorry. So, yeah, I have some notes here, and we did touch base last time, but that was our first time kind of doing a podcast, getting the feel for things. And I feel like what's very unordinary and or unorthodox about Matt Warner? Now, you are it's probably a multitude of things. I mean, you are
He mounts things.
amounts things. You are trying to publish your red flag book, of course. The thing I really want to touch base on is what you do for work, because I think that's a pretty unordinary job for someone to have that title of. So if we want to maybe do a segment called Skim Past the Bullshit, and we'll just touch base on that real quick.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. So my day job is monument setter. That's the official title. I just tell people I install tombstones, gravestones. Sometimes I tell people I plant stones, however you want to look at it. It's a job that before I did it, I never thought was a thing. Like most people, you drive into a cemetery, you just see the things there. You just assume they've been there. You never think about the process that goes into it. And my longtime best friend, his family owns a granite company, monuments, and they needed the help, and they showed me how to do it. And as you guys know, I'm one of those creepy people that love spending time in cemeteries anyway, so getting paid to do it's even better.
Right.
So I spend 50 hours a week in cemeteries and couldn't be happier.
Did you get offered the job initially, or did you go out looking for this job? Or I know you said your best friend.
They approached me, and it was originally they needed help, and I said, yeah, I can give you a little help. And then they said, well, we'd like you to come on in a more regular basis. And at the time I was doing good with my own personal training business, and I didn't want to give up on that. And I said, well, I can give you like a day or two a week. And then they were like, well, we really need someone full time. And I said, well, if you let me make my own hours and I can do like 4 10-hour days with you guys, then I will come on. And since then it's molded and morphed into what it is today. And I've been there almost 4 years now, and I love it.
What is your what's your daily routine at a job like that look like?
Most days, I have my routes that I put together for, based on where the jobs are. I do mostly around the city of Boston, but I go as far north as the New Hampshire border, as far west as Worcester, and everywhere in between. So what I'll do is on Mondays, I do a delivery day to one of our shops, all the stock and all the sold jobs that they need to do their work to sandblast and get them out to, to set. And when I get back to the shop, I go through all my slips for the week that I have to all the jobs I have to set, and I plan out where I'm going to go the next few days. Put all the routes together. I'll load up my truck for the morning, the previous afternoon, so that way I get in the morning, I just hit the road and I go.
Nice.
So most days I'll go out with anywhere from 6 to 12 jobs on the truck to get done.
This is delivering jobs or
Installs.
installs too?
Mostly installs.
So like you're talking like the headstones themselves,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
That's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah, I average about 30 or so a week that I install.
I would say your lunch breaks seem to be a little unorthodox.
yeah. That was
I just
actually
don't tell my boss.
that was actually in my notes, and we're gonna get to that point. That's in my notes.
30 a week. That's like a lot of people dying, dude.
They're all dying. Man. Everybody's dying.
And what's crazy too is I heard you earlier talking to the owner of where we are at right now, and we'll get there in a minute. But you were actually talking about like the ratio of cremations and like full body burials, and you're talking about how different it is across like seas, because you were saying you were in Scotland, correct?
It was in Ireland where I was
Ireland,
in that
yep.
conversation, but same thing. It's over in the UK. They're seeing a trend in more of the cremations, and primarily, if you think about it, their history has been around for thousands of years longer than ours. So of course, their ground is more saturated with corpses than ours is. They also, a lot of places over there, it's customary to just lease a plot for X amount of years, 50 years, 100 years. After that, take you out of there, put you in a crypt, like the family crypt or what have you.
Right.
And then they've got a fresh new hole to put somebody else in and sell it to them for a while. But the biggest cemetery over in Ireland, I did a walking tour over there, and then of course I couldn't help but talk to the guys setting stones and this is what I do too. But they said that they're now doing 7 out of 10 funeral services there are cremations, which is a high number. That's a lot.
How much? So are they? How many are buried in one plot when you're cremated? Is it just one? Or is it several?
That depends on the cemetery itself. So
Okay,
different
so it
cemeteries
varies.
have different regulations. If I'm not mistaken, I believe if you have a single plot, which would be good for one person, you could put 4 cremains in it.
Okay.
But if you have a family plot, you can put up to, I know there's some places you could put like 32, like if you have a plot for a family
Right.
size. So, but they, obviously a lot easier to put in. I don't do any of that stuff. I just go after the fact and put whatever memorial those people purchased.
Do you know what the numbers are over on this side of the ocean in the States?
Those were the numbers for the States.
Those are
I don't know
okay.
their numbers.
Oh,
over
okay.
there. Yeah. I just know what I've done here.
Wow. That's crazy. Imagine having like, it's just like mind boggling to me.
32 in
30,
one spot.
32 in one spot,
Yeah.
but also there's less of you, I guess.
Well, you think
More
about
room.
it before we came here and, for like, we genocided the Indians. We all know that. Before that happened, where were they burying their dead? Everywhere.
Yeah.
We built on all that stuff.
Right.
The movie Poltergeist wasn't that far off from what could actually happen.
Right.
The whole U.S. is a graveyard of some sort.
You
a
gotta think.
cemetery of some sort.
Yeah, we're running out of land soon.
Absolutely.
They used to just build houses right over cemeteries.
There's a few local cemeteries where I know of factually that they just kind of built some roads over it and didn't move anything. They
Right.
just let it be,
Yep.
as is, which is horrific. But that's what they do.
No, you're never like dealing with the remains directly, like on any of your job sites.
I've only had to assist one time, putting, because he was a big dude. They were interring this guy. Well, when he was alive, he's a big dude. That's all I heard. But they were interring him in their family mausoleum, and they needed our help to lift this monster guy in there and put his coffin in. And we also were tasked with putting the crypt cover on, because it's a big piece of granite, special key, tools, and all that crap. So we were there. The hearse pulls up. I was like, all right, this is different. I'll add this to the resume now. But yeah, we had to like bring the dude in and like lift it up and slide it. The slots are made just specifically to fit a casket. So that was kind of cool. I've smelt plenty of crematoriums at full bore. I remember the first time I smelt that, I was like, oh, I must be putting fresh mulch down. And I was like, nope, that's just some person burning.
Do you have a favorite cemetery that you tend to?
God. So it depends on, there's a few different factors. Favorite that I like to work in, or favorite that I would just go visit?
Let's go with working.
Mostly none of them. But
Okay.
no, I wouldn't say it. There's some that I absolutely loathe. But there are some good ones that like make my job much easier. Places like Forest Hill Cemetery, they make it very easy. It's also one of the most beautiful cemeteries you'll ever go to. That's in Jamaica Plain. They guide you to exactly where you're going. They make sure you're putting it in the exact right spot so that there are no room for error.
That's the one that has like the tombstone of like the girl in the glass case, right? Or is it like a bassinet in like glass case or something like that? I think it's that cemetery.
It could be. It's huge. It's like 100 acres.
It's the one down the street from, is it Mount Auburn?
Yeah.
That's a gorgeous cemetery
Mount
too.
Auburn is also
That would take
really
you,
nice
that takes
cemetery.
you all day to walk around. That place is absolutely gorgeous.
Mount Auburn sets all their own stuff. We just drop off.
Yeah, you're
they have their own internal setting team,
you're
which
saying
is great.
That's more of like a high class one, right?
That place is like a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's and Forest Hills is the same thing. It's outrageously expensive to be buried there.
So they're still doing burials there? Like they still have plenty of land and plots and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've been filling up the new section. You know, they have. I asked one of the guys actually recently how much space they had, and he said, "Oh, they have plenty of space." Because I was hoping I would eventually get to a point I never have to go there again. Here we are,
Job
still
security.
filling it. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like Kyle said, let's talk about your lunch breaks real quick. And like I said, this is a note I have on here. So for those that don't know, Matt likes to take shirtless selfies eating a tuna sandwich, mainly on these job sites. And my main question to you is, does anybody ever find that offensive?
Well, yeah. That was the worst backstory ever. First of all, I'm gonna fill in the blanks for everybody listening before like, wow, this guy's really fucking weird. I am really fucking weird, but there's a reason behind what I do. This goes back about 3 years ago. I was out in a cemetery, place I had never been before. I didn't even know where I was, some town outside, somewhere in Mass I'd never been. And it was like 95 degrees out, and it was so freaking hot. I work by myself most days, and I'm in a cemetery alone. I'm like, whatever, I'm going to take my shirt off. I'm sweating my ass off. Now, mind you, I have a dad bod. It's not the most greatest thing in the world, but you know what? I work hard at it, and I also like to eat. So we're always going to be in this position where I'm having a fight with my dad bod, But I love tuna fish. I love tuna subs because tuna is one of the most premier sources of protein, first of all, that you can get, and it's absolutely delicious. So I went down the street, found a sub shop, grinder, hoagie, whatever you people that listen call those things. There's subs where I'm from. And I got myself a tuna sub, and I just was shirtless sitting on the back of the truck, just took a picture of me eating that sub, and I was like, I'm living my dream life. And
Mind you, it's a massive tuna sub.
do you remember the first post?
I zoomed
had
in
it
on the
all
one
sit-
you just posted.
Oh no,
was
I
like,
did that comically large on
That
purpose.
thing is huge. I was like,
I made that one at home
okay.
purposely because it was the first one of the season.
I was like, that's a
You're
thick
jumping
one,
ahead in the
dude.
story,
All right.
Kyle. So I posted this, and all these people start chiming in because I'm just doing it to get a laugh out of people. I don't care. I just like making people laugh and give them a reason to smile. And all this concern kept flying in about like me, not like, hey, did you have heat stroke today? Did you get sunscreen or anything? Like, no, it's just like, you're nasty. You're eating tuna in the heat. You're eating hot tuna. It's like, first of all, first and foremost, it wasn't a tuna melt because that is disgusting. It was an ice cold tuna sandwich, and it hit the spot and it refreshed me. But one of my friends that I work with, she has this aversion to tuna. She loathes tuna, and I found that out that day. And she told me, she's like, you are so nasty. I can't believe you did that. So from that point on, I've made it my life's mission to eat tuna as much as I can and tell her about it. I'm at the supermarket. I send her pictures of me with holding tuna cans. It's to the point where I torture this woman, and it's part of my life now. And she hates it. And I get a kick out of it. Everyone at the office, for the most part, gets a kick out of it. So I started rolling with it, and I was doing, hashtag sexy tuna selfies, which is so contradictory. But it's if anyone out there, if you know me, you realize, wow, that makes sense for him because like I'm not all there, and it's a beautiful thing. But and I would do these on my lunch break. I would go to a different cemetery that I wasn't working in because I like being in there anyways. I was just doing these goofy like Dude-War style photos with my tripod and a timer and just laughing the whole time. Like, this is ridiculous. And last year I actually had, and the best part about this is he had to actually write this. My buddy that I work for had to write me a professional work email that stated, people are uncomfortable with my shirtless tuna selfies. And I'm going to frame this, put it on my office wall at some point because it is so classic. And I laughed so hard when I read this. But at the same time, I was like, who's got a problem with it? Like, my social media is private, so anyone that's seeing it, I've allowed in. But it is what it is. He's like, you can't do that anymore. I'm like, okay. So I just started going to abandoned places and doing it because, joke's on you, there's no cemetery here. I went to like Medford State Hospital, and I was looking at a little photo shoot by myself on lunch break. But The one I did the other day, I was trying to find just like a park or something. I was like, listen, I'm just going to do this. I don't even get. And I was working with my other buddy, and he was killing himself. He's watching me do this, and he's like, he's known me for like 30 something years too, so he knows I'm not all there. But I was like, I'm just gonna, full send, click, and it brightened people's days, made everybody laugh.
It's literally,
and it was a really good tuna sandwich.
It's literally wicked tuna.
It absolutely is.
So that's so fucking funny.
Yeah, shout out Andrea Gale.
Let's touch base real quick before we move on. Let's touch base on the Heart Stuff event.
Which one?
The one we just did, the Ouija board painting, because because we filmed that, recorded the podcast right before the event started. I think it was a pretty good turnout. They all had a lot of fun.
Everybody had a lot of fun, and I've gotten feedback that people want to come back and do another one.
Yeah.
Which is great. And the additions that we'll add for the craft section will make more people want to come too.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely a good idea to grow off of. And
yeah, it was fun. It was very easy once we figured it out.
Yeah.
that was Kyle's idea.
Yeah,
Kyle
definitely Kyle's
is
baby. Ran
still
with it.
clinging on to his membership in society.
It was a very like low. It didn't take a lot to do. Very low effort.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
here's what I found so impressive about that is that you actually cut all the boards yourself.
Yeah.
Like I saw the video, I was like, oh, he's actually making the boards.
That was the hardest part, is probably getting the wood, cutting it, and then doing the templates. And
Oh, well, hey, I laser cut all those stencils
Yeah.
too.
We're not
But
trying to
either-
take things away
either
from
way.
this guy's sweater tonight.
He's like, you're taking my
that's what I mean.
spotlight. No, Kyle did all of it.
Yeah.
Matt just supplied the building,
And the
and
two-
I just showed up, and Alan didn't even go.
No.
But
But I saw that
that-
video. I was like, that was so
That
impressive.
aspect of that was what made it special for people. Because as a person who loves and collects Ouija boards, I didn't want someone to get some cheap piece of shit made out of Luan or something crap. I was like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to find a cost-effective way to make this so that these boards are fantastic. And I think I found it, and everybody was very happy with it.
That older gentleman that was there, he was all like, I haven't painted in years. And then he made the best Ouija board.
Yeah. His was so intricate. I mean, Melanie's was the best overall, which is now sitting at the office.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a good event. And I look forward to more like that because it's very easy to put on.
Yeah.
And people will they enjoyed it.
Well, they get something they can take home and, remember.
Conjure Zozo with.
oops. All right, we skimmed past the bullshit real quick. So that was some good reflecting on that and touching base on what is unordinary about Matt and his lunch breaks. Let's touch on some of the good shit. With that, again, we have Alan Guin. Alan.
Hi, bud.
Yeah, I have some notes on here.
I can only imagine.
My idea of what makes you unordinary is that you are one exotic fruit away from dying.
And that's something that we discovered just before pressing play here is that Matt had a drink. I was like, oh, this looks good. I want to try it. He's like, yeah, it's a juice drink. Go ahead, give it a try. First thing I look at, I'm like, oh, tropical mango. That would have been a very quick clinch to my night. So
Even if it's a hop?
even if it's a hop.
tropical mango, that's what they call the hop.
Yeah. So this is something that a lot of people think I'm joking about when I first mention it. Like they'll offer me something and I have to ask, is there fruit in it? And they're just like, why? And it's only specifically fruits that grow in trees. So when I was 25,
all the good ones.
all the good ones, right? So not anything that grows on a bush. It's only stuff that grows in trees. So when I was 25, I was working a medical job. I still work in the medical field. Out of nowhere, I would just be like chilling there. And all of a sudden I'd be like, I'm getting short of breath. Like I can't breathe. My mouth is tingling. What the hell's going on? And I'm thinking I'm having like a reaction to like the chemical cleaners that we have there.
Right.
And it would go away after like 10 minutes. I'd be like, okay, I'm good. I'd go on with my day. Another 20 minutes goes by. I'm like, oh my God, it's happening again. Like, what is happening? And then this went on for a good 3 mornings. And I was just like, okay, something here isn't doing well with me. And we went through all the stops. We went through everything. And then one of my coworkers was like, what do you eat in the morning? And I was like, the same shit I always do, an energy drink. And I grab a fruit cup from Pride next door, which is a gas station. And they're like, do you think you're like allergic to something? I'm like, no, I've been eating this stuff my whole life. Like at this point. So they're just like, just out of curiosity, just go and just eat everything one by one. So the first thing I pulled out was a grape. So I ate the grape, waited a couple minutes. I was like, grapes are good. We're good. We're good to go. Next one I had was a pineapple. The second that pineapple hit my mouth, I was like, oh fuck.
I just heard someone's stomach growl.
That's my body freaking out.
It's like, oh,
just thinking about it. So I was like, oh my God, it's something like on the fruit. I didn't think it was the fruit itself. I thought it was just
like a pesticide
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
they
like something
use
like that.
to preserve it. Yeah.
But
so I
sorry, I was gonna say a pineapple is kind of a bush though.
uh
It only grows one pineapple.
yeah, I mean I guess that's true too. If you want to get technical with it. Actually, I guess you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
pineapples don't grow in trees, dude.
No.
I learned something new today. So it wasn't even that. So I did a little bit of experimenting on my own because of my pure autism. I'm like, I need to know if it's just pineapples. So I went through pretty much every fruit in the fruit cup, and it was, again, just the tree fruits. It was pineapples, apples, kiwis, mangoes, peaches, and pears are like the major ones. And like I said, I ate them my entire life. Like I had no issue with these fruit until I turned like 25 years old. And they say your body changes like every, I don't know, 7 years or something. But I found out the hard way. And it's gotten to the point now where I even remember vividly, I was at Foxwoods at a club called Shrine. I actually went there with Austin once. The one and only time I think you've been clubbing was that place that we went to.
Like 2 years ago?
Like a couple years ago, yeah.
It's for Lisa's birthday, right?
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
So I was there and we were at a table where they brought us a bunch of mixers for our drinks at the time. Austin doesn't drink. He's straight edge. He was just there to have a good time.
What did I have?
Disclaimer.
I had a
Shirley Temple?
Chocolate milk.
I had basically an adult chocolate milk.
That's right. Yeah, you had like a mocktail.
I had like a mocktail espresso martini or something.
Yeah, it was so weird to watch him drink what looked like an alcohol.
I was literally like dressed up like drinking.
Yeah. I was very. It was a moment for me because you've never even tasted alcohol.
A proud dad moment.
Which is amazing.
No.
But anyways, yeah. So I was there and they brought us mixers for our drinks, and it's dark in there. So I had what I thought was orange juice because that citrus is okay. So like, yes, it grows in a tree, but like oranges, bananas, limes is fine. It's all like the seedy, appley, whatever stuff. And I had just a sip that got into my mouth that I'm like, oh fuck, that's pineapple juice. So I went to the bathroom, made myself throw up, like shoved my finger down my throat to make myself purge. And I still got sick for like a week straight.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's that bad now. So I found out what it is there's a certain enzyme in these fruits that when it enters my body thinks it's some crazy virus and just starts going into hyperdrive and just starts going haywire to try to get it out of the system. And it's literally just fruit.
What about avocados?
No, avocados were good. Yeah, it's just those specific, like if it comes from fruit punch, it's gonna give me a fucking.
What about tomatoes?
Tomatoes were fine.
Oh,
yeah. Like I said, I did all the experimenting. I'm like,
Wow.
I need to know what I can and can't.
Some would argue that tomatoes are vegetables, but they are a fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it's devastating too because like the best shit. Like I thought Chinese food just made me sick. Turns out sweet and sour sauce has fucking pineapple in it. I was like, okay, I'll just have duck sauce. Guess what, Alan?
So is this the unordinary?
This is the unordinary.
Yeah, duck sauce has pears in it. So I'm just like, I just thought it made me violently ill all the time, and I just kept eating it. Turns out it's everywhere, dude, and I have to avoid it at all costs.
Damn.
And this is why I love having him on the show because I'm going to ask him questions I don't even know about him.
Yeah.
It's
a different kind of podcast. It's nothing. I mean, we'll probably touch base on ghosts here and there, but it's mainly a podcast to kind of get to know you a little bit more. As you said, you are in the medical field. I have a note on here. A question is, what is it like being one of the most, how did I write that? Oh, what's it like being a heavily tattooed, I put nurse.
Well, I am a nurse.
So what's it like being a super heavily tattooed, handsome nurse?
Well, it really depends on where you're at in the medical field. So it's not what most people would expect. It's not the cliche, like, old grumpy people being like, oh, you're so unprofessional. I've been doing it for 14 years. All I've ever known in the work field is medical. Yeah. I was a pharmacy tech for 5 years where I just basically was a legal drug dealer. Yeah. And then I joined the Air Force where I was going to do pharmacology. But I decided, they were like, yeah, that's not really a thing, but we can make you a nurse and a combat medic. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So I went and took my test, and the ASVAB scores differently. And I got a 51, which I didn't know if that was good or bad.
Right.
So I went,
sounds bad.
It sounds pretty good.
It wasn't bad enough because I went to my recruiter and they're like, hey, you got a 51 on your ASVAB. I was like, great. What's that mean? They're like, well, the threshold to be a nurse and medic is you have to get at least a 51. So I was like, oh, so I got the exact threshold. He's like, are you sure you don't want to reconsider? And I was like, no,
Like, nah, I
man.
passed.
I passed. I met the criteria. He's like, it's an 85% washout rate. I was like, cool. 85% of people graduate. He's like, no, 85% of people fail in the first week. I was like, now let's do it. My dumbass passed. I got through everything I got through. So I became a nurse. And along the way in the Air Force, I collected a lot of tattoos because it's just part of our culture, being hardcore kids and retired emo kids. And I just saw it as an unfinished art project. So I'm basically head to toe at this point, like literally my hairline down to my toes. I don't have much room left. So when I go into, right now I work long-term care. I take care of memory care. So I'm working with Alzheimer's and dementia residents that, you know,
Explains why you have it now. It's rubbing off on you.
No, honestly. And it's kind of why I wanted to get into it too, because it took out all 4 of my grandparents. So I wanted to be part of that and see what it was like. So
yeah, my Nana had it really bad too when she was on her way out. It was really
it's-
fucking hard.
honestly, it's brain failure is what it is.
Yeah.
So with what brains they have left, that sounds so bad saying. So with what brains they have left, when they see me walk into a room, there's like this very obvious shock factor for them because of how heavily tattooed I am being a nurse. Cause you don't typically see that.
Right.
Nowadays, you do see a lot of like heavily tattooed, you know, like ER paramedic workers. They'll have like a sleeve or, you know, maybe some like, you know, finger tats here.
Which
and
for
there.
them is considered heavily tattooed. You
Right,
know?
right. That's like pushing the boundary of the works regulations, but I am beyond that. So like when I have interviews and stuff, I'm like, I'm just going to get this out of the way. Do you guys have a tattoo policy? And some will say yes. I'll be like, then we can just end the interview right here.
Yeah.
Or they say no, and they're like, you're going to have some competition. I'm like, not me. Like, I promise you that. But believe it or not, it's a lot of good rapport with my patients. So they love it. They think it's a free pass to grab at me and tell me to take my shirt off all the time. but
I would love that.
That's what I'll be like, you got to meet my buddy
grocery
Matt.
store.
I'm like, hey, you like tuna?
You like tuna?
So no, it's actually like they love it. They want to hear all the stories behind it. They think it's like gorgeous artwork to them. I very rarely had few people in my career of 14 years try to give me shit about it. And the few I can remember are always war veterans.
Yeah.
Somebody who was in Vietnam or Korea or something, or just like, you know, you would never get in the military looking the way you do. And I don't know why you do that to yourself. And I was like, you know, I'll have them share their story with me. I was like, so I'd like to let you know that, you know, I was in the Air Force for 10 years and their attitude changes immediately. There's like, oh, well, I guess things have changed over time. It's like, it has. And once they get to know me, they realize that, you know, you break the stigma around, you know, tattoos being scummy and shit like that. But
They are.
but it leads to actually better relationships with my residents because they usually don't even know my name. They're just like, I need the tattooed guy. He knows what to do. Or, you know, where's that tattooed kid? I love him, you know? So it's been really, really positive. I didn't expect it, but it's not what I thought. I thought they were going to, you know, treat me like I was dirty.
Right. It's kind of a good way, like you said, build rapport. And they start getting to know you by asking you questions. So,
and they're always seeing something new every time I walk in. Like, oh, what does this mean? And it's like, this means I had $80 at one point.
And now I'm broke.
I had the same interactions when I used to do sales, selling roofs, and like dealing with a lot of old people. Kind of the same thing. How I'd build rapport with people. First, they would look at my tattoos and be intimidated.
Yeah.
I had one old lady once be like, "Are you a communist?"
Oh
because,
my God.
Because of my sickle on my head. I was like,
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
I was
right,
like, no, that's not what that means.
It's like, oh, you're just here for drug money, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that's like me being like, you know, the manager position, being a manager, you know what I mean? Like with a face tat.
But I got
Right.
You
I
know,
got
it's just
sales.
like-
It worked. Like, you know, people would think sales, you're not supposed to have any tattoos. You got to be clean cut.
It's definitely changing.
Yeah.
It's very common now to look like us.
Yeah, I mean, do you have do your clients have insight with you on your tattoos?
Like my training clients? No.
No, the ones that you put in the ground.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
They're pretty quiet.
They don't give you any feedback?
They're pretty quiet. I will say I've only had one interaction that was kind of along the same lines of the ones Alan's had, and we were at a church, which I don't get along with church. It is what it is. But we were outside of a church putting in this giant Virgin Mary statue, and the head nun came out, and she's looking me up and down. And she comes up and she puts both hands on my face and she goes, I don't want you to do any more tattoos on your face. And I said, well, how come? You're way too handsome. I said, well, I appreciate that, but you know I'm gonna. I have to. And I haven't, there's been now, I've not,
That is kind of sweet,
I've not met
though.
one person that's like, you should get more face tattoos, but guess what? I'm going to get more
Right.
face tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm about to crack a nun.
I've had girlfriends, whatever situationships, girlfriends, whatever people I'm hooking up with, like, oh, you shouldn't do anymore. I'm like, I'm gonna get one tomorrow because you said that. Like, it's my body.
And I did leave out too. There was a one-liner I had that I can't believe I forgot. There was one woman who was being so nasty about it, and she wasn't even like a resident or like a patient of mine. She was in the waiting room like with somebody.
Yeah.
And I walked by and she's like, I can't believe you look like that. Like, that is so unprofessional. Why would they hire you? And I was in a mood that day. It was like the end of like my 13-hour shift at the ER.
Yeah.
And I hit her with ma'am, I hate to tell you, today we just don't judge people based on their skin color anymore.
Yeah.
And you could have heard a freaking pin
I
drop,
love
dude. The jaw on the floor look she gave me by the time I got back to where I was working, I was like, damn, that was good. I got her so good.
Was she a patient?
No, she was just like somebody
okay.
in the waiting room, like waiting for somebody. And she was just, I guess maybe in her 70s or 80s, but had enough attitude.
Imagine if you got her
She's
as a
I'm on my
patient.
way out.
That's
Then
what
what?
I-
You'd
that's what I
be
mean.
like, my job's to take care of you. So
That's also true too.
depending on how you act, depends on how I'm going to take care of you.
And
And as of right now, I'm not going to do shit to help you.
That's a huge dynamic too, because we'll have a lot of family members come in, like whether it's parents or spouses, that if the person being treated starts to get a little, aggressive or elevated, they'll literally tell them, be like, you do understand you are here for their help. Like they are the ones taking care of you, and you're going to dictate how that goes with your attitude. And I'm like, thank you for talking some sense. Like, I know you're in pain. I know you're scared, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but you truly are biting the hand that feeds you if you knowingly, try to belittle or, essentially abuse your staff. When you're there for a service, it's not expected, yes, we'll do it with love and care and with good intention, but just know that you're working with the person who's trying to save your life.
Yeah.
So sometimes the skin doesn't matter at that point.
Reflecting back on service, you resigned, 5 years ago? 6 years ago from the Air Force?
Yeah, 2022.
Oh, so it was sooner than that. So
Actually,
4 years ago.
what's today? So May 21st. So yeah, almost exactly 4 years ago.
You were able to get both your hands done since then?
Yes,
Your fingers and your neck.
Yeah,
Remember, I made fun of you for a long time. I was like, dude, you got to get,
I know.
you're like, I just got to finish up this last couple of years and then I'm done.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Is the Air Force regulations were initially you could only have 25% tattooed of what was showing in your dress blues, which was like a kind of a longer short sleeve shirt. And then they changed it to you could have everything except anything above your collarbone and nothing past the wrists. The rest was fair game. And I pushed that to the max. Like I pushed the regulations as far as I possibly could. And that's like what Austin's saying is like, because I had everything besides my hands, my throat, and anything else. So he's like, you just like, you're like the opposite of a Warped Tour suit. Right? Most of the kids get just their hands, neck, and face, and then the rest is empty. So when I happily.
That's me.
Oh, are you? So, and I happily separated in 2022. That was like my retirement gift to myself is like, I am finishing this freaking piece. And that's exactly what I did, like down to the fingernails and up to my hairline. I was like, fine.
Yeah, I started my right arm with my right hand.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I had my full left arm done first.
Right. You almost have to earn it in a way. So that's fair.
And then I did the side of my neck.
I think it's wild when people just go right for like first tattoo, just full neck tattoo.
It's because they want to make want to make a point.
Yeah.
Statement piece.
Just like a statement,
Yeah.
I'm sure Matt has a couple of those statement pieces on him.
I have a few. A few spite tattoos and all that.
Mine are all spite tattoos.
All of them?
Most of them.
Jesus Christ.
They have a
It's a
story.
body of bad decisions.
Well, mine all have stories. I just have one that's like specifically a spite tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Is this in your book or is this not in the book?
One of my head's a
It
spite
might make the
tattoo.
book in one of the
might make the book.
chapters.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
I'll make this story quick. I did, for those of you that have listened to the first episode about my book and the situationship, this stems from that fucking nightmare. When that shit imploded, her parents came at me, which is ridiculous because I wasn't the one opening my legs. But we'll save that story for the book, which you'll be able to buy that on Amazon. and they were saying all this kind of shit about how I make no money and I have no life. I'm just a broke tattooed clown.
Do you have a 401k?
I did not have a 401k, or anything, which, fun fact, I actually do have a 401k, and I have a couple of investments going on, and I also have 3 jobs, and I make more money than her kids. But that's irrelevant, because you know what? I don't care about money. I care about experiences and memories. Mm-hmm. So I had a great idea. I said, all right, I'm going to go and I'm going to tattoo the back of my kneecap, which is a really shitty area to work. Yeah. And I got this traditional clown head put there with tattoos on its face, with little dollar signs, her initial on its cheek, 401k on the forehead. And I got the tattooed clown, got a tattooed clown put on his body with the money that he has.
I love that.
And that was one of the most fun
sick.
Tattoos I've got, because it was purely spite and hate driven.
That's incredible.
And I love it.
That's why I got the sickle and the moon on my head, because when I broke up with one of my exes, her family all of a sudden just like didn't want me around, like for like Thanksgiving or holidays and stuff like that. And they were all ex-police officers, like cops, and they didn't like my tattoos. Mm-hmm. They had like a big issue with my tattoos. Yet her dad had to be forced to quit being like a state trooper because he beat his girlfriend almost to death.
Would you like to tell us which ex this is?
The one before my baby mama. You know who it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't say her name out of respect for you.
Yeah, no.
I was just trying to follow up.
I have no problems with her. It was just her family judging me for no reason, and
fuck those people.
Right. And it's because they were all like police officers and super judgmental.
I still think you should have gotten that tattoo of your ex mother-in-law.
Yeah,
you did. I
still get that.
You still can. I think you should.
But yeah, no, my ex, she had one tattoo on her that she's like our age. She's almost 40. Like, still hides it from her dad because he will disown her.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Well, now he knows.
Yeah. Well, he won't listen to this, but
he's a listener.
All right. Let's dive into some of the real shit. All right. Some stuff I don't know about Alan that I kind of want to know about Alan is you're big into hunting and fishing and all that outdoorsy stuff, which I did know, but I want to know, how did you get into that? Was it with like through family and like your dad? 'Cause I know your dad's a big bird hunter and stuff like that, and your grandparents. Is that what?
Yep, it was a generational thing for sure.
Generational thing.
Yeah, so started with my grandfather on my father's side, Haywood. His actual name is Stacy, but middle name Haywood. So Stacy Haywood Guin was
Guin.
Guin, yes. He was your typical backwoods redneck. You know, he loved the Confederacy, and he loved hunting and fishing and anything that involved the great outdoors, and that just trickled down to our family. So it was a generational thing that I was really into when I was younger. You know, he would always take me, you know, deer hunting and turkey hunting, and pheasant hunting is more of the camaraderie with the family, because pheasant hunting isn't really a sit and wait and be quiet thing. It's a very fast pace. You know, you hunt over the dogs and you're constantly moving, so you can chit chat and have a coffee. So that's like where the family, you know, really thrives, is bird hunting, like you were saying. But no, pretty much everything hunting and fishing was on that side. And I kind of rebelled against it for a bit, primarily in my adolescence, because I didn't have the patience for it. You know, I wasn't very successful or good at it. I just wanted to smoke weed and skateboard. You know, that was like, I don't want to sit in the woods for 6 hours. I want to go be a hood rat and, you know, redo Jackass the movie. But no, like, I found that coming out of into the military is when I found my love for firearms again. In the Air Force, you don't shoot much, but you do have to do weapons qual. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and that kind of led me back into the woods, where I'd be like hunting and fishing and reconnecting with my dad some more, because, you know, we kind of drifted for a bit. And then after that is when we kind of started to be father and son again, was after my military days. And I found so much peace in the solitude of it. You know, going fishing, being there to watch the world wake up. You're like the only person on the lake. You're far away from everybody. You're far from your phone. It's like the sound of the loons in the morning and shit like that. And just like the excitement of actually, you know, like catching fish, or, you know, the actual heart attack you have when like a turkey or a deer walks out in front of you. Like, there's people that actually die from the rush you get. It's called buck fever.
You literally feel like you are the apex predator.
Literally.
I only get that when I hit him with my fucking car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? But no, it's a very primal, instinctual thing. And I found the rush in that, and then the peace in it as well. It's like the knowing I'm doing good for the environment by managing the herd and making sure that, we're taking out the excess population so that the rest don't starve, and you're getting the cleanest meat on planet Earth. You're not getting slaughterhouse garbage. You're getting something that's been true free range, and just harvesting an animal and appreciating it. And it's going to sound weird, but like I have this thing where like after I harvest a deer or a bird, when I put my hand on it, I thank it. I say thank you, for your sacrifice, and knowing I'm the first human to ever lay my hands on this animal, for that exact reason. Same thing with fishing too. I'll give it a smooch and say, hey, go gain 4 more pounds so I can get a better picture of you later. It's something that I found outside of work, dealing with 100 people a day. When I'm not working, I have no social battery. I want to be alone. I want to be in the woods.
It's basically like your vice.
Oh, for sure.
And like you said, it brought you a new fonder friendship with your dad,
for sure.
Which I think definitely means the most.
Yeah. And there's a big network of friends and family. Like the hunting community is second to none. Like there's a lot of guys. There's some, gatekeepers out there, but you make a lot of memorable friends and family and quality friends and family through hunting and fishing. It's unmatched. It's a whole different community out there.
Mm-hmm.
What's going back to your grandfather, was it?
Yep.
What's one of the first, I must say either like the first memories that you can really remember, or like a really fond memory that really just sticks with you of hunting with your grandfather back in the day?
My fond memory with him is that he had this knack of every time this man would take a piss in the field, a bird would flush. Like this man would be swinging on a bird while swinging in the wind. Like it always happened. Like we had a joke, like every time, like he's like, all right, I got to take a piss. It's like, all right, everybody get your guns ready. That just was always when a bird, like a pheasant or something, would flush. And every time he would take a piss, a bird would go up. So that's kind of like a funny thing with him. And he'd always be ripping ass and making jokes and stuff.
Nice.
But we used to go to Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire almost every single year. We'd stay there in the cottages. And there was this one specific dock we liked to fish off of. And he kept telling me, because my pole was sitting on like a little, I guess we'll call it a stick to like keep it from, getting yanked in the water. He kept telling me, he's like, hey, you got to keep your eye on your pole. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm like, I don't know, 10.
You just want to skateboard and smoke weed.
Exactly.
At 10.
Like, yeah. He's like, I'm telling you, you got to keep your eye on it. I'm like, sure, sounds good, whatever. And sure as shit, a salmon grabbed whatever bait he had on it, ripped my rod right into the water. I watched it go. I ran after it, tripped, fell, hit my face, didn't grab it, lost my fishing rod. And I just remember looking up at my grandfather, and he's like, so what did we learn?
Hold your rod.
Yeah, hold your rod. No, but that was just a funny memory that they'll never let me live down. Like every year we went back, they'd be like, all right, Alan, watch your fucking rod. But
I love you, but I'm disappointed.
Yeah, and he was definitely that kind of guy. And he was the only other person to serve in the military, which is mostly why I enlisted, was to put on his uniform. And that was something he got to see before he passed away, which was cool for me. But yeah, he was the one that always told me, get those fucking gauges out of your ears, get those dumb piercings out of your face, and go get yourself a job and an education. And again, I just want to smoke weed and skateboard, Grandpa. I don't care. I'm never joining the military, and I rebelled a bit, but I found myself now, missing him more than ever. And I have his old shotguns and uniforms. And every time I go out for a hunt, every Thanksgiving is like our annual thing. So we go out for a pheasant hunt with as many people as we can get. And I always use his shotgun. And it seems every single year, almost like with you and your grandmother, there's always this cardinal that follows us every Thanksgiving when we do this bird hunt. And we're always taking him with us, So he definitely kind of brought it to the family, which was super cool.
What are cardinals? What are they doing?
And that's what I mean. Are they just spiritual birds? Like, or
Everybody's spirit animal.
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
either that or turkeys.
Yeah, right. But I'm usually,
My grandmother was turkeys.
well, sorry to your grandma, but I blow them in half most of the time.
So you found like you're basically embracing the appreciation for your grandfather at this point.
Oh, 100%.
You're basically doing everything that he told of you and wanted you to do, but at your own pace.
Yeah, and I think that's something he really wanted to see before he passed away, because that was one of the last things was when he was on his deathbed. I visited him in my uniform because he had been holding on for so long, and they're like, "We just think he wants to see you." So I visited him in my uniform, and I got forehead to forehead with him, and I thanked him for teaching me everything he taught me, and he passed away on my drive home. So it was something I'll keep with me.
Yeah, for sure.
So I take that into the woods and onto the water with me every time I go.
Nice. Yeah, well, it's good to have that.
Yeah, my whole left arm, I don't know if you noticed, is all outdoors.
I did notice.
I didn't notice. No,
Yeah,
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, my whole yeah, so my whole left arm's all hunting and fishing for both my grandfather and my father primarily.
Do you have any grandparents left, or is that
Nope.
No, that he was the last one.
Yeah, I want to say he was the second to pass away out of the four. But again, like I said before, Alzheimer's, dementia for all four of them, which is why I work with it now.
Yeah, which is crazy. So like you're doing it's like a full circle.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, which is it was kind of something that, like, not to be cliche, but it was very unorthodox because I have never done long-term care, and I've never worked with memory like Alzheimer's, dementia, and I've been there for about 2 months now, and I fucking love it. It's a freaking experience every day. Like, I didn't realize how much shit people can, create.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking there's bears on the fucking unit because there's just massive piles of shit everywhere half the time. But I just love these people. I love working with them. It's something so different.
Do you think it brings you like some sort of closure, maybe in a way, like in a weird, far-fetched sense, perhaps?
Not so much closure, but a sense of purpose for sure.
Like a purpose.
Yeah, like even my director and my unit manager, they always say, they're like, the way you interact with these people is so beautiful, and I just tell them it's like I just act as if they're my grandparents, and that's the best way to go about it. Right. So for sure, a sense of purpose. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's something I didn't think I'd ever do.
I remember before my Nana passed, she was in assisted living for a long time. This was after my great grandfather passed away. Mm-hmm. Where I went to her one day and I was 18. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get a tattoo." I'm like, "Can I borrow the portrait of his name was Fred, my great grandfather, who was my first tattoo?"
Yeah, I remember.
That's him. That. And she's like, "Oh yeah, like that's fine." So got my first tattoo done. Was a portrait, looks just like him. Mm-hmm. Great. And then a couple weeks later, I went to go bring the picture back. She had no idea who I was. And showed her the tattoo. She's like, "Who is that?" And I was like,
"Yeah,
dude, it hit me like a fucking brick wall, dude." I was just like, "This is so hard." And then like we went back a couple weeks later, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like he just went to the store. Like he'll be right back." Mm-hmm. Like he's been dead like a long time. Yeah, like I was in 8th grade.
It's
so I couldn't imagine dealing with like that kind of stuff and working with those people, but
yeah, you gotta
a huge respect to you for being able to do that day in and day out for sure.
Yeah, you got to meet them where they are. Yeah. They live in their own world, and you gotta immerse yourself in it. You can't tell them what they're thinking is wrong. You can't tell them what they're feeling is incorrect or not real. You got to meet them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess when you're done with them, that gets them.
Jesus, so that's the circle.
I'm much happier working with them in the state they are when I get to.
Yeah.
Do you hunt? Do you hunt fish?
I do not.
Any experience with hunting or fishing?
You like?
He hunts cougars.
He just hunts red flags.
I hunt cougars and red flags.
Yeah, you do.
No, when I was a kid, we used to go fishing because there was nothing else to do. But now I don't. Hunting doesn't do it for me. It doesn't interest me. I'll go to the grocery store and get my food. Yeah. I wouldn't know how to dress an animal if my life depended on it. But if we're in a zombie apocalypse, I can offer you security and shit.
You'd probably dress it in a fucking pair of black jeans and a snapback or something.
Probably. That's the uniform for pretty much everything we own.
Right, exactly.
You do like your firearms though, which is good enough.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to hunt pedophiles.
Oh my god,
that would be the best thing ever. I mean, we could do it anyways.
Defending a school is like, if there was ever a job for being like an armed guard at a school, I would sign up immediately.
100%.
Yeah,
I worked in an elementary school for 4 years, and I was always like just waiting. Like, let this be the day.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll sneak out that back window, get in my Jeep, and I'll be right back.
Gonna hunt the pedophile. You've got one gun to pick out of your arsenal. Which gun are you picking?
Oh, so I have what I called my my safe queen, which is a pretty common term in the firearms community. It's the rifle or the weapon you have that just sits there until it's absolutely needed. And I have an SBR, which again in the gun field or the firearms community is a short barreled rifle. So it's off of an AR platform, which they always say AR-15. It's not, that's like its own firearm, but people use it very loosely now. So it's basically an AR platform.
That's an assault weapon, brother.
So
That's AR's assault rifle
yeah, it means automatic rifle. No, it's
with what 15 shots is where the 15 comes from. Is that what that means?
kills 15
Yes.
people a second.
Kills 15 pedophiles?
bullet
Yeah.
kills 15 people.
So yeah, no, it's a nice. I made a black and gold plated one with a 9-inch barrel on it. That's got pretty much all that it needs. It's got like a nice weapon mounted light on it. You know, obviously it takes box magazines, so you can put anywhere from 10 to
15.
a drum mag on it if you wanted to. But it's so light, it weighs like 5 pounds, and because I made it so short because if you're clearing your house, you don't want this big long barrel bouncing off a.
No, you want it mobile.
Yes, you want a nice, versatile, very, ready to go. Like if you need to pocket it or hold it in one hand, it's not going to weigh you down. So
It sounds like you're kicking fucking pedophiles' doors down or something.
oh man, that would be incredible.
We should.
Yeah.
Basement doors.
Yeah. Right. So
Well, hey, I guess if ghost hunting doesn't go anywhere with us, I guess we can,
yeah, that's true.
maybe get a TV show on hunting pedophiles or something.
And
Yeah, I
and
mean,
that-
we'll actually capture something.
You're damn right we
A
would.
whole bunch of red flags.
that's what it comes down to. It's just like I'll tell people
And
like,
more.
I'll meet people, they'll see me and they're just like, oh, this is some city kid with all my tattoos. And it's like, I'm way more redneck than you could ever imagine. Like,
You really are too.
and I'll tell my like, if there's a season, I hunt it. It's like I go as far as hunting fucking ghosts, dude. Like I'm hunting everything.
You're like a red, blue, yellow neck.
Yeah, I've got all the colors. It's weird, like I said, it's a lot of stuff you wouldn't imagine, but it's yeah. So going back to that question, yeah, I built this specific rifle for that reason, just having something that's very versatile and ready to go at a moment's notice.
Old reliable.
Oh
All reliable. Good old
yeah.
faithful.
yeah.
Africa.
South Africa.
You went to Africa to hunt.
I did.
Is that your first time?
First time. I'm actually going back next year.
You are. You were with
Yep.
your dad.
Yep, my father and my uncle.
Safari?
Yeah.
Well, not really a safari. I mean, you're killing animals. That's kind of, you're going over to poach.
so
We've
it's,
all seen Ace Ventura too.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
want to do
yeah,
that.
yeah. So safari is when you go out and just kind of appreciate what's out in the wilderness.
You're doing the complete opposite.
Kind of the opposite, but no, it's actually there's a lot of weird stigma around hunting African game.
Which is what I wanted to get into.
Right. So
So you were legally able to hunt
Mhm.
African animals. How does one go about getting do you have to do like a kind of like a raffle type thing to get? Do you have to do like a raffle type thing? Or
lottery?
you have to get like a lottery or
for a lot of
accepted?
for a lot of different species, yes, but that's primarily in the continental United States or like Canada. South Africa, you just go through an outfitter. So people already have the licenses for you. You pretty much operate under their license when you're hunting there. So you go through like an outfitter, like I went through one called Maximum Outfitters.
No, I forget it was like Urban Outfitter or something.
Yeah, something like that. And it's kind of a real bitch to get over there because like if you're flying, like it was a 13-hour flight from like New York to Dubai and then Dubai to Johannesburg and then a drive to camp. You have to get like, even if you're flying through the airport, you have to get a signed letter by the Prince of Dubai just to say he's okay with you getting firearms through his country. And you have to go to like Homeland Security and you have to get all this clearance done and they have to see the firearm and get the numbers and all that. It's this whole process just to even get them there in the first place. And then the rest is pretty much taken care of by the outfitter. They give you a camp to stay at, a place to sleep, that you have your PHs, which are your professional hunters, people that know the land. You have your guides, which are the ones that tell you where to go. You've got like a whole group of people that will, skin your animals, cut them down, quarter them, cook them up for you, and whatever we don't. I could probably get into this after. But there's such a stigma around people going there for trophy hunting, which
Right.
some people do. These are usually just rich assholes who have nothing left in the world to do. They'll
Right.
go and be like, I just want to kill a leopard. And it's
Right.
like, they are doing a huge favor to South African natives, but in a way that's not really morally sound, in my opinion.
So would you call that poaching?
No, it's not poaching because they're doing it legally. They're doing it under
But morally.
morally.
Because I feel like you think that they're doing it wrongly, even though they are doing it.
Right. I mean,
They are making a difference, but do you think it's a wrongful difference?
morally, it's the wrong reason.
They're just doing it to
They
kill
just
something.
douchebags.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
They just want to
They-
say I killed.
They
this.
just want the title.
They want the photo
Right.
and they want the mount.
Yeah, like
you
look
know?
at this lion.
Exactly.
But for you, like you're going to appreciate every
yeah.
from head to toe that animal. you know?
So what I did is totally different. So it's more of like an environmental management. So when you go there, you don't just say, "Hey, I want to shoot this." They have a whole system ready to go. So pretty much what you're doing is every dollar you spend goes back into restoring the property, restoring the just like the natural resources. Like it goes back into the environment, you know, when it
Right.
comes to agriculture, it comes to the watering systems they have, just everything goes back. And then like rehab shelters for animals, things like that. What it is that they have a list of animals that are problematic. So they have like, let's say, you know, you want to go out and, you know, hunt plains game. Because again, you can eat it. Obviously it's food. But let's say there's like a wildebeest, you know, they're big buffalo type things. You can't just point at one and say, "Hey, I want to shoot that."
Right.
They say, okay, on this specific farmer's property, there's a problematic bull that's too old to breed, and he's killing younger bulls that can breed.
Oh, so you got to
And-
find the animal that they're talking about.
Correct. And that's why you have
You're basically a bounty hunter.
yeah, exactly. So you have your pH. That's why you have your pHs in your guides.
You got your
because-
target.
Exactly. They know out of a herd of 300 wildebeest exactly which one needs to go based off its horn shape and markings on its face. It'll go through a whole herd and say, "That's the bull right there. That's the one that needs to go down because he's causing issues. He's killing younger bulls. He's sick or whatever." It's like they call it pulling weeds because obviously you pull weeds to
Right.
let a garden grow.
Right.
So it's more environmental management. And I did not, so that's something I didn't quite realize was how in depth it really got. So after you do this, like, yes, you can get your like photo op after your harvest, but you can keep as much as you want for everybody at camp to eat because it's all very, very good, clean meat. But whatever doesn't get used, right down to like its hair, gets repurposed by the shanty towns, which is what they call them. So all the like the poor people,
Right.
you know, that
Yeah,
live
yeah.
in huts made of aluminum billboards. And they will eat every last centimeter of this animal. They will use its legs to make tables. They'll use its tail hair to make, you know, hair ties. They'll make bracelets, and they use all that to raise money for their own little, you know, villages. And when we went there to drop off like the extra excess meat and the excess carcass and stuff, it was like a welcoming committee of people clapping, and they were so happy because we're feeding these people. So it's basically you're not only helping the environment by getting rid of this problematic animal, but you're feeding hundreds of kids, you know, and they're coming up, they're hugging your legs, they're so happy because they can't do it themselves. They don't have the resources. And
Right.
so again, your money goes towards the agriculture and the environment and rehab shelters for injured animals. And then you're feeding, you know, keeping what you want out of your own hunt and getting the appreciation for the land and then bringing it to these people who are in desperate need of it. So all of it is a very rewarding, very specific process.
Right.
And then there's trophy hunters, which are just like, I don't know, I just want to go hunt a leopard to say I did.
So the killing is a very small part of it because what you're providing,
Yeah.
just the whole town.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You go to different villages and,
Yeah.
you know, farmers will have these like prized animals that, you know, produce really, really strong, healthy calf and cattle. And, you know, predators come in. There's like, you know, jackals that come in or civets that come in or
Yeah.
problematic lions that come in. And like typically the lion in South Africa has a price tag of anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 US. And that's the reason lions still exist. Because if that kind of revenue for South Africa funds so much, because if we didn't have a price on these lions, they would poison entire prides because they come into towns, they kill people, they're killing their livestock, they're rummaging through everything. Like they just come in swarms and kill people and kill things and destroy the environment. But
Right.
when a lion walks in and they're like, that animal right there is worth $50,000, do not fucking touch it.
Yeah.
Because someone will come over and pay the money to do that, solve a problem for us, and now we have all this extra money. So because we do that and they have that value, that's why they still exist. Because otherwise the locals would be like, we're just going to poison and kill all these things because they have no value and they're just causing problems.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things you don't know
Right.
about. You just hear the story of this person shot a lion that had a name that nobody even knew about.
Right. They don't think about the ladder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, if they didn't have a price tag by the American hunter, they'd probably be close to extinction.
What was your what was your problem animal over there?
What do you mean problem? Like
What did you shoot?
So I went primarily for plains game because they are the best eating.
Which is
The major one I split it, so they kind of have like a package deal. So obviously you're paying money, and there was a gemsbuck, which is basically also known as an oryx. So it's kind of like this big, almost cow deer hybrid with like a clown face and very, very long horns, like 3-foot horns.
Mm-hmm.
There was a kudu, which are the ones with like the big spiral horns. A wildebeest, impala, blessbuck, springbuck, and a warthog were all the ones that they had listed. So like each hunter, they'd be like, these are all the animals we need to go after. And, you guys can determine who can hunt what based off of whatever's on the manifest, essentially. So those are the ones between me and my father were all of those plains game. And it took us, out of the 13-day trip we had, I think after the 9th day is when we had harvested all of them.
wow.
So we did pretty good.
So you brought some stuff back with you?
Yeah. So I wanted to keep stuff for memorial purposes, and I love oddities in itself. So I got some taxidermy done, and taxidermy there is so cheap.
Yeah.
It's like for a full shoulder mount, it was like $400, which here it would be like 4,000.
Right.
So I did get a couple shoulder mounts done and some European mounts, which is just the skull and the antlers, like on a wooden plaque. And that was just for me to take home with me, just to remember, look at it and remember that hunt, remember the people I fed and things like that. It's like memorial pieces for me,
Right.
where trophy hunters, they just want it on their wall to say like, yeah, I harvested that. But for me, it's way more sentimental.
Was this after your newly established relationship with your dad? Or was this like during that time?
It was almost like immediately after, because it was I used the money from my sign-on bonus from the Air Force to pay for the trip. So I
Nice.
brought him, and I was like, I want to bring my father essentially before he dies, because it's something he's always wanted to do but never had the money to do.
Right.
So I used part of my sign-on bonus from the Air Force to take him on that trip.
You're never going to forget that trip.
No, that was incredible. That's why we're going to go again next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing, package deal hunt.
Yeah, same
Doing
thing.
something different?
Through a different outfitter, so it's a different part of Africa. It'll be closer to the green belt, like where like the Sahara is in that area.
Nice.
So should be good.
Hell
Should be a
yeah.
good time.
Cool. All right. So that was some real shit. No, we had we got a ghost hunt to do. Speaking of hunting.
We're at an hour and a minute right now.
Cool. All right. Yeah. This will be a few more minutes so we can get going. But yeah, so we're over at the Wilson Castle tonight doing a Warner Paranormal and Soul Seeker Paranormal collab.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we have a lot to do
Nah, I think
in one day, one night.
we can get right to it. We'll throw
yeah,
some
for sure.
cameras down and press
Yeah.
record. I think we'll be
I'll
good
be
to go.
I'll be in bed in about an hour, so you got me until like 11:30, 12.
You might have heard some crackling in the background. We got a nice little fire
Nice little
going.
fire going.
Mhm.
Why don't we say, all right, we got to get hunting soon. Let's just quickly go through some fun shit.
All right.
Got some, I don't know, I got some assortment of questions. You don't have to do all of them, but I don't know. Do any of these questions look good for you for any of them? You can pick whatever question you want to do, or you can come up with your own. Be for either Matt or for Alan or for both. Or you can come up with one.
I like the preferred way to die or worst way to die. Or I'll put this in dumbest way you think you could die.
Is that for both of them, or who's that for?
Both of them.
Both of them. So what is your preferred way to die? And then what do you think would be the dumbest way for you to go out would be?
I want to die with the hottest girl riding me. Dead ass. That's how I've wanted to die my whole life.
Whorehouse heart attack.
I just want to. I just want to go out doing what I love, and that's red flag hoes.
That poor girl.
That's not my problem, man.
I fucked this dude to death.
That's a resume builder.
Oh my God.
Who's going to set your stone? Who's going to set your monument when you die?
Oh, I'm having a Viking funeral.
You are?
Yeah,
Yep,
that'd be kind
absolutely.
of sick.
Yeah, it'll be very illegal, but it's going to happen. I want to horrify my hometown one more time on the way out.
Your tombstone, man.
I'll bring the tuna salad.
Yes.
Your tombstone, Matthew Warner died as hard as this rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll shoot the arrow.
And you guys can just engrave Blue Chew sponsored on the side or some shit.
Bricked out. One way you don't want to die. Be like, damn, I died doing that. Like, what the fuck?
I don't think I'd want to be stabbed to death.
Yeah.
That seems like I'd rather be shot.
What's
I think about these things all the time.
I'm sure you
I
do.
don't want to feel what it feels like to get stabbed, like in a brutal manner. Like,
what about something dumb, like something you do every day that
I don't want to
shouldn't kill you?
What
What
if?
if-
At work.
but it-
Yeah, you
freaking
die at
kills you.
work.
I also don't want to like slip in the shower like some
Right.
old fucking loser and fucking
Right.
bump my head, and then my poor kid finds a fat naked dad dead in the
There's
tub.
like so many.
Then
I don't want
fucking
that
Alan's
either.
taking care of you because you got fucking
Yeah, I know.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, right.
You're like near brain death, and you got me coming in to spoon feed you.
Washing my booty hole with your tattooed hands.
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I would say
Fucking
yeah.
heathen.
Pick something like extremely stupid that like what actually does apply to you that you've like been like on the verge of like, oh shit, that could have killed me, like in your everyday life.
Well, just the other day, I walked up. So the bed of my crane truck where I do my setting from, it's all new to me this year. They got me an awesome truck with an awesome crane, and I had the crane just over the bed of the truck, and I walked up the little side ladder I had built to get up there. I was walking up with a fucking vengeance, and I walked straight up into the crane with the dome on my head, and I saw stars like a cartoon.
Oh yeah.
And I actually I had a cut. I had a huge egg. I had a cut, which I didn't realize till like 2 days later when I was like, the fuck is this? Big old scab. And I was working with my buddy, and I was like, he's like, you got a concussion? I was like, I don't know, maybe. Like now I'm probably just like 7/8 fucking Riri at this point, but it's cool. I didn't pass out because I was like, oh man, if I pass out, this kid's gonna have a fucking heart attack himself because he's not gonna know what to do. But that would be a pretty shitty way to go. You know, like dumbass thing like that, walking up into a crane. But yeah, I mean, I could fall in a fresh grave.
Yeah.
A stone could fall on me by myself, and I wouldn't have my phone with me, and then I just die into someone else's rock. That'd be pretty shitty.
Just sit your own stone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dumb ways in my day-to-day life that I could die that I don't want to.
Alan?
Preferred for me is I've always had like, you know, like you see like the videos on Facebook of like the 10 out of 10 bleed out spot.
Yeah.
Like just with me, it's like I prefer to be, again, I love my solitude, being out in nature in the woods somewhere. It's like I just want to be out in the middle of the woods where like chances are I won't be recovered because I don't want the trauma of somebody seeing me die or somebody finding me dead at some point. You know,
So do you
I
want
just-
like a buck to shoot you?
that'd be
You want to be hunted? You want to be the problem animal?
right? I want an animal to release me in the wild and hunt me down. No, I mean, as long as people are aware, I just want to kind of be old and just let me wander off in the woods and just know that I'm going to go make peace somewhere. The way I don't want to die is I do not want death by fire. Like, because granted, I know it doesn't last too long, but like when I'm at the gym and I'm sitting in the sauna and I'm just like fighting for my life, I'm like, I can't do this, dude.
Right.
Like, even just heat alone, I'm just like, this is miserable. So like, I could only imagine death by fire being just something so terrifying, you know, just feeling.
Yeah, you know, you feel that.
Oh yeah.
At least, even if it's not that long, you're
yeah.
feeling every bit of that.
Every little nerve ending on your body is just getting torched to a degree that your brain can't comprehend. I would not want
Yeah,
that.
and we know through hunting that, you know, even after you die, you're still feeling it. So
Oh,
you're just
yeah.
internally combusted for the rest of your life. And
Lord have mercy. So
Well-
on my everyday, I think the nearest almost dumb way to die I had was something I realized when I was at the firing range, like when I was sighting in one of my rifles. It was a windy day, and I was shooting up to about 100 yards with one of my rifles. That's how I like to sight them in at. And I had it sitting on this bipod or this tripod I use. It's called a death grip. It's basically like a camera tripod with a big thing you crank down to hold the rifle.
Yeah.
And it was windy. And basically after I was done firing, I wasn't totally through my magazine yet, and something had blown off the table. So I let go of my rifle to let it sit there to bend forward and grab whatever was on the ground. And as I, leaned forward to grab it off the ground and stood back up, my rifle fell over, pointed directly at my fucking head.
Oh, jeez.
And it basically hit the side of the table, and this thing is still chambered, and the safety, I believe, was still off. So very, very careless of me. But I'm like, if that hit enough, like with enough pressure to send the firing pin forward, it would have been fucking lights out for me at that very moment from something so stupid.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, fuck. I was like,
dude.
I could have just literally done like an involuntary suicide in front of all these poor people. And I was just like, I need to not do that ever again. And, you know, and maybe not go on a windy
That's
day.
like one of my fears is just dying very dumbly.
You
did something stupid.
Just something you do every day in your
something
life,
you do all the time and
Yeah.
it just fucking kills you and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. I was like, that could have been an incredibly shitty coincidence.
Right.
So that would have been not okay. That would have been very dumb. I'd be like, I couldn't even get a chance to fight back.
Well, I think we have a hunt to do. I don't think it'd be a complete podcast without talking music for just a second. We got 3% battery left on this thing going. Are there any new bands out that you deserve or you feel like deserves more credit?
I love my heavy stuff. The band Without a Face.
Without a Face?
Without a Face. They're a deathcore band. They kind of bring back the older roots mixed with the more modern stuff. But the vocalist has his own kind of grunge to him that is hard, is you don't hear very often, and everything is just so punchy and so catchy. So if you were to look up the band Without a Face, it's just, they're good, man. I really, really like them.
Fuck yeah. Matt?
Musically, I'm all over the place, so I don't really. I mean,
It can be anybody, anything, any genre.
there's a lot. I mean, I'm so infatuated and in love with Ella Langley
I
right
knew
now, but
you were gonna say
everybody
that.
knows Ella Langley anyways. So that's my future wife. Stop looking at her. But anything she's gonna do. But country wise, is I like this guy Blake Whiten. He's up and coming. He's got some really good songs. I do like him. I might not look like a country fan, but I do love country. But I like all music at this point. So that's the one I've been listening to a lot of his stuff right now.
Hell yeah. Kyle?
Me?
Any new bands you've discovered or anything that you feel like deserves some more credit to be recognized?
Let me just check. I was listening to Creed earlier. That's not one though.
The one I came across the other day is a band called Forever Came Crashing. They're new, I think, from 26 or 25, but it kind of sounds like, and Alan, you'll appreciate this. They sound like kind of like Beneath the Sky era type stuff. So it sounds like early day MySpace deathcore type stuff, and it's really fucking good.
I love the bands that have been bringing back that sound, like Reverent and Mauled, like those.
Yeah,
bands.
but it's like the production quality is just a little bit better.
I don't know how to say it, but it's Anal Nathrak or something. Anal Nathrak.
Let me see.
Anal Nathrak?
Anal Nathrak. I started listening to them.
Group chat.
Yeah. what
Oh,
the fuck?
that's like Swedish or like Anal
Nathrak.
Nathrak.
It's like Alan's name in a different
I
language.
don't know.
or
They had
something.
this sick song, and it's just like machine guns going off.
We love that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Unordinary and the Unorthodox podcast with Austin and Kyle and Matt and Alan. We have to go film a Wilson Castle episode now, which you will see probably sometime around October, around Halloween, which we will then have a Warner Paranormal bash up here at that point, which we will talk about on a podcast upcoming.
7th annual.
7th annual.
Bricked the fuck up.
Bricked the fuck up. Guys, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks,
We
man.
have a
Thank
long
you.
night ahead of us, and
Yeah.
that being said,
With that.
I can say it tonight. We'll see you in the dark.
Yeah. Brick out.
Hell yeah. Love you.